Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador Ihor Dolhov, дякуємо за участь в інтерв'ю. It's my honor to have you as a very first guest of GT interviews. So let's start with the very first question. Is there any space left for the diplomacy, or should we say that the time has come for the final showdown?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. It's important now to send clear signals about the situation and the possible developments regarding increasing threat of the Russian aggression. We believe that diplomacy is an important part of this necessity to stop aggression. That is why Ukraine continues diplomatic efforts. That is why Minister for Foreign Affairs of Ukraine conduct series of meetings and phone calls. That is why President of Ukraine and all the administration is involved. 2 days ago, the meeting of Normandy took place. It's another diplomatic effort in order to avoid the direct aggression and stop aggressor. Support and solidarity with Ukraine is very strong now. We appreciate very much and we are thankful for the assistance we continue to receive. Political support, hardware that we started to receive from the United States and other states, continuous support from some NATO member in training Ukrainian army units. Keep in mind and understand that package of sanctions prepared by the United States and the European Union is very, very solid. And Russian leaders, they know, they are fully aware that response will be prompt, very decisive, and very feasible for them. Altogether makes us more and more confident that Ukraine, Georgia, NATO, the United States, consolidated efforts of democratic countries would produce cumulative effect to stop the aggression.
Annalena Baerbock, Foreign Affairs Minister of Germany, said on Thursday, quote, following integration of Ukraine in NATO is not even a subject of discussion, and we all, including Russians, know that. End of the quote. Could you agree with her, or should we say that Germany is playing 2008 game, but this time for Ukraine?
It's not news, and this is the most important issue, how to convince all member states of NATO that Ukraine and Georgia are ready. We continue to work and to explain that it's not a remote option for Ukraine. It's a need. We would like to see more NATO in Ukraine, and we are ready to be part of NATO. Without being a NATO member, we are enhanced partner of NATO. Even now, when the strategy of NATO vis-à-vis Russia is deterrence, Ukraine is a main deterrent force. What we are doing, we stopped Russian troops on Ukrainian border. This is our role already now. And we play this role not only for the sake of the future of Ukraine, not only for Ukrainians, but for the whole Europe. We deter aggression on our border in the interest of European states and NATO.
Until last week, official Tbilisi was remaining silent. Was it disappointing for the Ambassador Dolhov?
I believe that you maybe do not have the full picture to analyze, because what we see and what we feel, it's a permanent support of Georgia. Every day we receive signals of support from ordinary people in Georgia, from public institutions, from companies, from business communities. And the official position of Georgia is well known. Well, let me remind you that in April 2021, it was President Zurabishvili who addressed Georgian parliament during the annual address to the parliament with a special request to work together, stand together with Ukraine. President Zurabishvili also was very clear in her statement, public statement in December. Minister for Foreign Affairs was very clear in his public statements and during his visit to NATO, to Brussels, and here in Tbilisi. I cannot agree that Georgia neglect Ukrainian interests. No, we work together, and maybe this is the case when we need no additional reassurances that we are together. It is so obvious that Ukraine and Georgia are strategic partners that well, it's just a natural development of events.
Thanks to the ruling party, the resolution in support of Ukraine no longer includes word Russia. Is it okay for Ukrainians and the ambassador?
That is not yet adopted. So we are talking about the subject which doesn't exist. It's not my duty to comment declarations, statements of the government of Georgia. My vision is that we do not have yet any resolution adopted by the Parliament of Georgia. Full stop.
Besides diplomatic support, what should Georgian government do if Russia invades Ukraine?
Your question starts from if. So let's wait what happens and then we will discuss ifs.
Thanks for an interesting interview.
Thank you.
Again, дякуємо. До
Дякую
побачення.
вам. До побачення. Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
Дякую.